Welcome to Chamber Connection. I'm Mary Hodson, President of the Chamber of Commerce and Tourism here in Hutchinson. I'm so glad that you're joining us today because we're going to kind of recap what the Chamber's been doing this past year and look a little ahead to the future. And with me to do that is Mr. Roman Blomke. He is the current chair of the Chamber Board. Thank you for joining me today.
Yeah, absolutely. It's fun.
It's always fun to have you jump in, and this will be fun to kind of highlight and recap what we've been doing and kind of look forward. Roman is also I want to just kind of, so if people don't know you and they're like seeing you for the first time, right? You're part of the ambassadors, you're past president of the ambassadors. Mm-hmm. You've been part of the design team for our Leadership Institute. You're part of our golf committee. You've been part of our annual event committee. You do a lot of other things in the community. And most recently, we were just talking a little bit ago, you were the official photographer for the Hutchinson Tiger football team.
Yeah, that was a lot of fun. And it was a great time to be with all the guys from the team, and the coaches were super, parents were awesome. Yeah. And it was just fun to document that journey that they had this year. We were all disappointed in how it ended, but man, those guys, they really have a lot to be proud of.
Yeah.
The whole town was really proud of those guys.
As one of your friends, it was really fun to watch you through the journey too, because it was a new gig for you.
Yeah, it was.
Dang it, you're really good at action photos.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun to do, and for whatever reason, over the years, many years ago, this is a past life of mine, I was working in television news for a while as a director role, but I just would go along to like Vikings football games with the crew just to kind of go to the games, and we just seemed to have a knack to be in the right spot at the right time when big plays happened. And for whatever reason, that kind of translated into shooting football this year too. And I'd kind of be sitting there on the sidelines and be like, I think I need to be 20 yards down the field, and then I run down the field, and sure enough, the play would come right past me. So it was a lot of fun. I just happened to be in the right place at the right time, and it's always fun to document a season like that and be around those great kids on the team, and the coaches, like I said, were great too. And
you always said the parents were always so good to you too.
Oh yeah, parents were awesome. Yeah. Parents were awesome.
So Roman has Roman Blomke Photography. So if you're interested, you could go check that out. You are also are you the COO?
Yes.
Of Welcome Home Management, and you are co-owner of Woodstone Senior Living.
That's correct. Yeah. Yeah.
How many more hats?
I don't know. I have a lot of them. Apparently, that's why I don't have any hair in my head anymore, because I don't wear so many hats. That's what I'm going to go with.
Wow, that was really moving.
Yeah,
to hear.
A lot for
I had to get a cow in there once.
I know. It's great.
So anybody who's watching, it's an inside story. But for those of you who do know it, you're just cackling along with me right now. So let's talk about the Chamber this past year.
Yeah.
It's been a really busy one for you as the chair. Lots of things have been happening, and we've been preparing to kind of launch into 2020 as well.
Yeah.
So as we talk about and we look back at 2019, what are some of the highlights for you?
I really, really enjoyed this year. I mean, we did a lot of things. It felt like it went really fast, number one.
Right.
Like, the 2019 started, and here we are at the end already. It feels like yesterday I was in the studio with you talking about what we're going to do this year.
Right.
Arts and crafts was fun. I always really look forward to Small Business Saturday as something that is just, I'm sure we're going to talk about that a little bit later, but I love that event. That's one of my favorites. The golf tournament was awesome this year. We had a lot of people show up for that. The Think Local groups and the annual party, or whatever you want to call it, last year, the banquet that we had with the 80s prom theme.
Oh my gosh, that was so much fun.
So I think just this year was really highlighted on community involvement and getting people to leave their couch and get out and have fun. So we did a lot of good things, I think, this year.
So the Chamber, we're trying to get businesses, business people, community engaged in activity, engaged with each other, networking with each other.
Yeah.
And so that's how we really start. So I know Matt's flipping through these, but if Matt wants to put up the annual event, Hutchopoly, this year.
Yep.
Last year was a prom theme. It was the 80s prom. This year we're going to play a little Monopoly.
Yep.
So we're going to play Monopoly this year.
Yeah, I think that's going to be fun.
People don't have to dress up.
No.
I mean, if you want to dress up, you want to be fancy, you can, but really come cash.
Yeah.
And this is open to the public, which is something that a lot of people don't really understand.
Yeah, exactly. I don't think, and we've tried that over the years to try and encourage more and more people to show up. And yeah, this is for everybody. It's just we have a little small portion that we have to do for annual meeting stuff,
Right.
The awards section, but the rest of it is just to have fun and get out of the house, right? We're hitting a time now where, again, it's snowing outside again, as we were talking this morning, and we just need to be out and do stuff. So it was an opportunity to do that. And I think that's one of the things that we really tried to do last year, and I hope people do that this year, is come just have a fun night, an opportunity to be away for the evening and be around other people.
Absolutely. We want people to be able to network and get off the couch or the futon or the Jerry chair, whatever it is that you're on. And that's just a shout out to my husband, because the recliner has been the Jerry chair forever.
Yep.
But we want you to come and enjoy other people's company and learn about what's going on in the community. And this is a great way for us to look back at what the Chamber's done. We also do those community awards. So we have Business Person of the Year, Volunteer of the Year, Young Leader of the Year, somebody 35 and younger, and our producer Liz has actually gotten that award before. And then also Teacher of the Year, which is so much fun, because people are putting in nominations for people that they have seen do something outstanding in the past year or years, right? And so that's really fun to be able to share that. And again, that's one of the things that we want the public to be able to come and celebrate with those people as well.
Yep, I think so.
So ask me what my favorite part about Hotchopoly is this year.
What was your favorite, or what is going to be your favorite part of
Thanks for
Hotchopoly?
asking, Roman.
I know, I'm so excited to hear.
The life-size Monopoly board. We're going to play life-size Monopoly. And I'm so excited. We've got all these great ideas. Back when Monopoly could go on for 17 hours.
Oh, yeah.
Not this game. We changed up the rules a little bit. The board's going to look a little bit different. It's going to be Hotchopoly, of course, but the rules have changed a little bit. It's going to go pretty quick, kind of like a cakewalk.
Oh, okay.
That might be a good way to. People are going to continually come off the board, and then we're going to give prizes to people who win.
Cool.
Who are still standing, and there'll be some surprises in there as well. Really looking forward to that, because we've kind of planned out. I mean, we had to measure the sucker. How big is it going to be? Can people be on it and be safe? It's always questionable. We're going to have life-size deed cards. Super excited for this.
That's fun.
And then Dean, our friend Dean over at Innovative Foam.
Yep.
He made us play pieces.
That's awesome.
They're like the ship is this big.
Yeah.
And the hat is this big, and the dog, right? Do you remember which play piece was yours? Which one did you always have? Did you always have one?
My kids actually are making me play Monopoly right now, but we play it on the Nintendo Switch, so it's it's nice and easy. But we each have our own little thing, and I use. The other day I used the ship, I've used the car in the past, or the horse. I don't necessarily have a favorite, but I tend to go towards the ship,
I always had the shoe. I don't know why. I think my mom always had the thimble because she was a sewer.
Yep.
I'm pretty sure my dad had a ship because he was in the Navy.
Makes sense.
My brother had the car because he was the boy. I got the shoe.
Yeah.
Wheelbarrow apparently didn't really speak to me.
No, it didn't really to me either. It reminded me of manual labor and hauling cement.
Probably.
Yeah.
That's probably why I didn't pick it, because I was that kid who had to help with all the chores outside, right?
Yep. Well, have you ever lifted a wheelbarrow full of cement before on one wheel? It's it's no fun.
Wheelbarrows have come a long way. Anyway, so we have all these fun things that are happening, plus the awards happen, and it's just such a great time, because people are, like you said, it's an opportunity to get out in the middle of the winter, right?
Yep.
And it's the 24th of January, so it's that perfect time. It's a Friday night. Most people aren't going to have to work on Saturday, or they can at least sleep in a little bit before they go whatever they're going to do.
Right.
Yeah.
I think it's a great night. As far as the awards go, Hutchinson is such a great community from the standpoint of everybody is involved, whether it's teachers or business professionals or everybody, it seems, right? We're all very supportive of each other, and this is just a great opportunity for people to come out and just celebrate with those who are being nominated and those who have won.
Yeah, absolutely. That's one of the things that we talk about a lot, is that level of collaboration, that level of appreciation that we have for all of the pieces and parts that come together. And of course, as the Chamber, we can celebrate so much of it. Yep. Okay, so let's move on. So since we talked about that, let's just take a little gander. Last year was prom. So maybe if I click my fingers, we'll have a prom picture show up. Maybe.
There it is.
There it is. Ah, look at this beautiful couple. So the Lansicks, they both had their Letterman's jackets.
Yeah. That's
Now-
impressive because I can't fit into mine.
Yeah, Kevin
There's
wore
no
his.
way.
I never had one, so I never got one. And the fact that they fit into them, god dang it, they wore them almost all night.
Yeah. Well,
That
I
was-
would too if I was
Well,
able to
if
fit
you-
into clothes from high school. I'd wear that all the time. I'd be like, check this out, 1993 vintage. Totally. He should.
Yeah, absolutely. I love the fact that he also touted the fact that he is still younger than me.
Yeah.
That was
that's
a little harsh.
That's his mo. He likes to come up and give me crap when I'm out too, and
Yeah.
poke the bear a
super
little bit.
fun. He'd been part of leadership last
Yeah.
year and started getting involved, so that was really fun that he and Laura could come out and join us. But just some of the fun that we were having last year at the 80s prom.
Yep. It was a good time.
It was a good prom. Obviously, people were dressing up last year. We even had the balloon arch.
Yep.
Beth Gosser and volunteers from New Century Academy had come out and worked on all of those dang balloons. And my goodness, I'm so grateful we had volunteers
Yeah.
to do that.
Could you imagine having tried to blow all of those individual balloons up and tie them on?
And tie them on, yeah.
There was a lot of work that went into pulling that off, and I've had some comments about it too. What fun things are we going to do this year? So
Yeah.
The Hottopoly should be a good
It'll
time.
be really fun. Walmart even loaned us their arch to put the balloons on.
Oh, great.
So, again, it's a collaborative effort,
yeah.
everybody participating and helping out. So much like Dean is helping us, he had stars last year for us
Yeah.
and doing the game pieces for us for decorations this year. We're working with Compass Occasions, and they've come up with some fun things. And this year we're going to do something different. We're going to have dinner.
Yeah.
How about that?
Yep.
Do you want to know what it's going to be?
I do actually.
Do you? It's going to be a pasta bar. So you
Oh,
can choose
awesome.
all the pieces and parts that you want.
Yeah.
And if you're vegetarian, we can deal with that. If you're gluten-free, we can deal with that. So again, a great opportunity. So let's give a little detail. $50 a ticket gets you in dinner, a drink, and the whole evening. $25 we call the supporter ticket. You can come at 7. You don't get dinner, but you get to support those people who are also part of the awards.
Yeah, I think it's a great night, and,
Yeah.
and if you've never been to it, I suggest just trying it once. It's a good night to be out, and I promise you'll have a good time.
Yeah, I can't imagine they won't. Other busy things that we were doing this year, we had Dairy Day,
Yeah.
Farm Fatigue, the egg seminar is coming up, so agribusiness committee was very, very busy this year.
Yep.
And getting ready for an award. Yeah, I don't think that we have that one. But they have the Egg Person Award coming up on the 19th.
Yeah, a lot of things going on.
It's a secret.
It's always a secret.
That one is a secret. And hopefully, because do you know farmers?
Yeah, quite a few of them.
Yeah. Planning out a farmer's day and if they're going to show up on the 19th of December to an all-day event.
They're busy too. Got to give them credit.
They
They've
are
had a
so
busy year.
And the year has not been,
Yeah.
it's not been
It's not been ideal.
not perfect.
No, not
Right.
perfect.
So,
give
we're,
them a lot of
we're
credit.
hoping that we can get this gentleman there. I gave a hint.
Uh-oh.
It's a gentleman. But we're hoping that can happen, and a very deserving person. Anybody in the egg business right now. We so appreciate the work you're going through. And if you don't know about the egg seminar, why don't you give us a call down at the chamber at 587-5252 and we can get you the details on that. The extension puts that on and we help them with that. Really some good information, and there's going to be a farm bill update that's happening. So I know that's really important to our producer friends. But Farm Fatigue, cows.
Yeah.
You love cows.
I do.
It's a wonderful thing. It's utterly fabulous. So we had some great Dairy Day opportunities this year. And then also Farm Fatigue. Have you seen all those buckets that get filled?
Yes.
I'm sure in the photos you've seen them, right?
Yep.
Imagine, if you will, 300 buckets, 300 bags, filled with hair in Mary's face, food, snacks, treats, water, soda, Subway sandwiches, cookies, gloves, ear protection, eye protection, tape, notebooks, safety things, knife things. 300 sets going out.
Yeah, big project to put it together.
Yeah.
But I would bet that it is incredibly appreciated by the people that are getting those.
This is the one thing that we are involved with. And when I say we, it's really our agribusiness committee, because they just take it and go with it. They know it's a busy time of year for us as well. All of them are involved in ag, and but it's so powerful to see so many people come together, make that happen. It's the one thing that we get the most: emails, Facebook messages from social media, cards and letters in the mail.
Yeah.
People
That makes it worth
so
it.
appreciate it.
Yeah.
Well, how else do you tell somebody that you appreciate the fact that they're literally helping put food on your table?
Right.
So just a nice shout out to our agribusiness committee
Yeah.
as they continue working. All right.
You know what else I thought was really fun this year? I've been thinking about as we've been sitting here.
Ooh, what?
Business Connection.
Oh,
That was brand new
yes.
this year.
Business
And
Connection.
How awesome was that? It was super popular throughout the year.
Yep.
Going and visiting different businesses and having that little opportunity to network and have everybody be able to tell what's going on for the year or that month in their
So
business.
tell everybody how it came to fruition.
Well, I think it was more of a brainstorming session, the way I remember it.
Oh, good.
It's story time.
It's story time with Roman's edition.
I feel like the way I remember it in my reality anyway. The way I remember is we had a conversation about just how could we get people together to further business. And yes, we have business after hours, and that's a really great program that the Ambassadors puts on.
Yep.
But there are people who cannot go to the evening session for business after hours. So by doing Business Connection, it was more of a morning thing. And we thought, well, let's give it a year and try it and see how it goes. And I think I remember the first one that we did, there was like 50 people that showed up to it. And I thought that was just a win
Try
immediately.
67.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A huge win right away.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, that's great. Now let's see how it performs. And I was at the one here a couple weeks ago with Jay Malone, and that full there too.
Yeah,
So I think that really ended up being a really great program that has taken off, and it was something that now we've got both business sides covered. If you can't make it at night to do some networking there, you can do it in the morning with Business Connection.
So the format's a little bit different.
Yes. Yep. Well, the format is a little bit different. Business after hours, you can come and go. It isn't so much a structured thing.
It's like an open house,
It's like an
right?
open house, yeah.
Come and
There's
go.
food and
Yep.
beverages and stuff like that. But with Business Connection, what we do is we'll spend the first 15 minutes or so
Waking up.
Waking up. It starts at 7 o'clock in the morning. So the first 15 minutes from 7 to 7:15 is more of an opportunity to walk around, shake hands, glad you could make it and stuff like that. And really just do a little bit of networking by yourself with other business people that are there. And then after that, we spend the next however many seconds Mary gives us. That's always a challenge. Sometimes it's 30 seconds, sometimes it's 15. It's very dependent on how many people are there. But you get to tell a little bit about what's going on in your business or something that you're doing special that month. And we just go around the room and everybody gets a chance to talk. And that's, I think, really important because in a networking situation, you don't always get an opportunity to talk to everybody.
Right.
So you don't know everything that's going on. You try to get around the room, but you don't always get that
Or,
chance.
okay, there's a new face. I'm
Yes.
not sure. Where's that person from?
Yep.
But now, in this setting,
You get
we
a
can
chance to see
find
it.
out and hear.
Yeah,
Yep.
you get a chance to hear who they are and what they've got going on this month. And then at the end, typically what the ones I've been to anyway, we throw business cards into a little bowl and we draw out some winners. And happened to be one of my staff members won a car detail at the last one from Jay Malone, which was super cool.
I think
know,
we
there was
were
a lot of-
all like, who's going to tackle her?
I know.
Who's going to go get it from her?
Yeah,
Right?
but she's super excited. She's excited to get that. But I think that's kind of the neat thing is you get a chance to interact with everybody, hear what's going on in their business, and you get to kind of keep up to date what's going on in Hutchinson that way. So that's been great.
And we always give the business, like 10 minutes if they
Yeah.
want to use it to tell more in depth.
Yep, and I think that's been really great too. So the person that's hosting it then gets an opportunity to just talk about what it is that we do at this particular
Yep.
place. So it was great at Jay Malone's. You got to hear Jay's story and how
Yep.
they came here, and at the beginning of the year, I remember going out to Equal Access and
Yep.
getting to see the horses, and the horses were talking to us and all that kind of stuff. Too bad it wasn't cows, but we'll leave that for an inside story later. But there's in each one you get a chance to learn something. So, and I think that's important for people who are attending events like this too. Number one, you get to see everybody, but then also just the opportunity to learn more about the business that you might not know so much about.
Yeah, and when time allows, then there's a tour.
Yep.
So people can tour through and learn more in depth about what does it look like, how does it function.
Yep.
And I think that that's really important for people because I don't know, I'm one of those people, I'm really curious.
Yeah.
What happens behind that front desk?
Yep.
What happens when you go into the back, right? And so I love that portion of it. But it's very structured where,
Yep.
as you said, like business after hours, it's more of an open house. Free networking. They might be doing prizes, but there's always some food. Same in the morning, there's some breakfast, and there's, usually coffee for those people who drink coffee. I don't drink
either.
coffee.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm okay with that. But there's always, some things to help those people who need a little
Yeah.
gumption to help wake them up.
Yeah, I think it's been a great addition to
Yeah.
the chamber this year, and looking forward to seeing all the places we'll go in 2020.
So we said we would review it at the end of the year and then see what happens. Apparently, we're going to do it again.
Yeah, it's great. So I think it's worth it.
So again, it's another great opportunity as a chamber member to get to meet other people.
Yeah.
And I've seen so many connections made.
Yeah, absolutely.
And when you can hear how something actually happens and you can see people talk with the emotion about how they feel about their business, their employees, the work that they do, wow, that's super powerful.
It is absolutely powerful. That's
Yeah.
a great word for it.
I've heard a lot of people talk about when we were last month at Jay's,
Mm-hmm.
at Jay Malone Motors. If you don't know Jay, I highly recommend that you go
Yeah.
meet him because he's got a great story, very unique, and the man is powerfully emotional about talking about the business. And it's pretty incredible to see that, the
Yeah.
dedication that people have.
Yep.
It's not really about the cars.
Yeah. Interesting statistics and all that kind of stuff that he told us, but boy, yeah, you just get to meet people on a different level.
Yeah.
And that was a great example of it. And I just know, like I mentioned, Equal Access and some of the other ones that we've gone to this year, just getting to hear that story and that passion behind all that.
Yep.
I think that's one of the reasons people like to go to it.
Yep.
Is because they get to see that behind the scenes and that passion of why they do what they do.
Well, when we were at Acumen Oaks and Pines, a gentleman just came in and joined us who lives there. He just
Yeah.
came because he wanted to know what was going on.
Yeah.
And so it was really interesting to see things from his perspective as well, because he shared a little bit about that as well.
He had to
So-
get up and introduce himself just like everybody else.
just like everybody
I
else.
thought that was awesome.
Yeah. Yeah. So you do have to introduce yourself, and I do
Yeah.
make you introduce yourself. If you think you're
You know,
tagging along, that doesn't work.
Well, and, I heard somebody say, well, I don't do really great at public speaking, so I couldn't possibly go on. I said, it's less than 15 seconds. I promise you it won't hurt. All you really have to do is just introduce yourself, and this is where I work. And that takes up 10 seconds alone.
Right.
So that should make it pretty
you
easy.
can do it. You
like
can
you're
do
not
it.
you're not held to, hey, you have to take up the 30 seconds. It's just
No,
introduce
absolutely
yourself.
not.
This is where I'm at, and here's what we have going on. It's
But
super
it's also
easy.
great to be able to hear, hey, you were able to give a building update, which,
Yep.
by the way, I love the aerial view.
Yeah, that's been fun to
That's
see.
super cool to see that.
Yeah.
So if you haven't seen that, Woodstone Senior Living, go look at the aerial view of your place. But it's great to hear when somebody's got maybe some lower rates that are kicking in.
Right.
Maybe they're looking, our realtors are really good about sharing when they have a special listing, or if they're looking for a house for somebody that you might
Yep.
know of somebody or yourself have a house that fits into that.
We really hit a lot of different industries that come to that too. You mentioned bankers and realtors and insurance agents come to that, and and healthcare is like myself and Acumen and Oaks and Pines does. There's just a lot of different groups that are coming,
Yep.
so you're going to pick up something that I think is worthwhile.
Yep. We have retailers, restaurateurs, we have a little bit of everything there.
Yeah.
Okay, so that worked really well. We like that very much.
Yep.
People seem to appreciate it, and some people are morning people, and it
Yep.
helps if you can't come to business after hours, but you want to fill that niche for yourself.
Well, I think those connectors, like you and I, we need that in the morning to get started. We need to be able to connect with people
Yep.
for a little while. Works perfect for that.
Yep, absolutely. So I know that we're going to be wrapping up our time here in a little bit, but let's just talk a little bit about arts and crafts
Yeah, it's going to be really different next year.
2020.
It's going to be
Dun, dun,
really
dun.
exciting, I think.
I think so too. Yep.
You know, it's moving locations because of our construction project downtown. You know, Main
Say
Street.
that again, Roman.
Well, it's moving locations this year.
Change
and I know
is hard.
Change is really hard for people, but we also don't really feel like falling into, you know, a pit when Main Street is dug up is a great idea either.
Where would we put people?
Well, Main,
road's gonna be
it's such a, you know, being involved with the chamber for as long as I have been now, and being involved with arts and crafts, it's a much bigger effort to put that together than what I think a lot of people realize.
Right.
Load-ins and all that kind of stuff is really hard to do that downtown. And then now you throw road construction on top of that, it would be utter chaos. Utter chaos. Did you see what I did there?
I see what you did
tried.
there.
I really tried.
It really
just
moved
for
me.
you. Oh, geez, there he is. But I think having it downtown is going to be really tough. So by moving locations, I think that's going to, at least for this year, really help. And you guys are putting together a lot of things that are going to make it a lot more interesting this year too, I think, than just being downtown.
So not only is it going to be tough, we need the parking that is available on
Yep.
Main Street. We need the safety availability. We just don't have that. We would lose so many spaces.
Yep.
And just to make that adjustment, it was not feasible. We had a lot of conversations with a lot of people, especially our friends at the PD,
Yeah.
because if you don't know anything about the Arts and Crafts Festival, it might be a chamber event and it might help tourism, but it's really about the safety of people when we're talking about it. So we're really close contact with them, and it really wasn't feasible for us to do that. If you understand where we load in and how we do, it just wasn't. So the opportunity at the fairgrounds lends itself to trying some new things.
Yeah.
So we're going to try some new things. So if you come to Arts and Crafts this year, you're going to see way more vendors, probably a few more food vendors, and a lot of other activities that we've not been able to do when we've been in the downtown area. So we have the whole fairgrounds to play with.
And I think this year too is going to be interesting because we're going to appeal to more people too.
Yep.
So, you know, I end up going to craft shows, you know, because of my friends, and my wife goes to craft shows. So I go along because that's just what you do, right? You know, and we're going to go have fun, do this. But one of the things that when we go to those things, there's not a lot of things for, you know, guys to do, or, you know, those who aren't necessarily interested in going along. So you guys are looking at those kinds of things, but you're also looking at different types of vendors as well, which I think is going to be interesting. So the simple fact that there's just going to be more vendors, I think those people who have, you know, been coming to arts and crafts festivals for a long time will look at this and say, that's where I have to go.
Yeah.
I have to be
So
there.
we had the same trepidation that other people have, like, oh gosh, we have to do it differently. We've been doing it
change is
this
hard.
way. If you don't notice, this is going to be the 46th year of Arts and Crafts.
And it went by like that.
Yep, just like that. But we've come around to the opportunity because, of course, we want to be positive about it, just like we want other people to be positive about it. It's an opportunity. And so very quickly, we were able to see the opportunity that it would lend itself. And no, we don't know if we'll stay there or not. That we just can't say that right now.
It's worth a try. And if it turns out great, great. If not, go back downtown.
Exactly.
It's
So,
going to be great, though, I think.
We've heard all the opinions both ways, trust me.
And we debated those internally, too.
Oh, gosh, yes.
The board has had lots of conversations about it.
Yeah.
This hasn't been something that was just a snap decision. We've really been talking about this possibility for a couple years.
P.S. Mary Hodson didn't make the decision by herself.
That's correct. Correct. A lot of people
A lot of people were a part of this because it really is a big deal for our whole community.
Yep.
Thank you so much for being
Gotta
here,
make it
recapping
work.
it. I always appreciate having you here. And I appreciate you tuning in and listening to what's happening at the Hutchinson Chamber of Commerce and Tourism. I hope that you'll join us in the new decade. If I could spit it out, it's the new decade. So long to 2019, and here we come 2020. If you need to get a hold of us because you have more questions, call us at 587-5252, or you can always go on explorehutchinson.com. Thanks so much. Have a Merry Christmas and a wonderful New Year.